Hey, it's Cal Forever here, walking to the store to get some Zen coffee. And I'm not really much of a coffee drinker because I feel like I'm kind of like sensitive to the caffeine. Like, it makes me like kind of anxious. Whether that's true or not, it might just all be in my head. But I think, oh, why am I mentioning this? Because I think there are some people that are like addicted to coffee and it's kind of a crutch to them, and I'm not the person that, like, it's like this synthetic, it's not real energy. It's just this illusion where it's like it triggers neurotransmitters in your brain to make you feel awake, but really when you take away the coffee, then you see where your energy's really at. But it felt good to go for a walk, get a little bit of organic coffee. And what I love to do is I put it in a bowl so it has a wide surface area, and then I set it out in the sun and I let it suck up all this energy from the sun, and I create this whole like ceremony and ritual out of it, out of self-love and offering as well, and then receiving it back to myself from spirit through soaking up the rays of the sun and blessing it. I think that's really beautiful. I don't know why I started doing that. But anyways, to get to the main message of this video, I wanted to talk more about myself so that you know who I am and what my intentions are, and just kind of a little bit more my background as a healer. I'm empathic. I'm very sensitive on an energetic level, on an emotional level, which emotions are energy. Emotions are geometric. That's why when you start awakening your third eye and you see all these geometric patterns, you're seeing your emotions or the emotions of others. So, very sensitive, and I'm learning how to balance that sensitivity and not take things on from others. And I can feel things in my emotional body from others as if they're my own. Physical pain, like my mom has arthritis, and I thought I had knee pain for the longest time, and I was like even limping with it. And then once I realized, like, oh my God, this is coming from my mom, not me, it went away. And every once in a while when I'm around my mom, I'll feel that. Or there's this one time this old lady walked into the store and my knees just burned, and I just like we just kind of like looked at each other, and it was like, whoa, that's coming from her. Just energetic pollution, and a lot of people don't take very good care of themselves or their energy because of the unconsciousness on the planet. And just because someone's not doing that doesn't mean that we need to shun them or belittle them, right? And see ourselves as less than. See them as less than, because I don't see people as less than. And part of what I'm learning is to stand in my power, because when I first came here to Arizona, you know, there's a lot of psychics here, and I kind of put other people up on a pedestal like I didn't know anything, which was kind of this humility, which is good. Humility is awesome, which opens you up to receive. But then I started seeing, like, I'm really powerful. I have a lot of good energy. I have a lot of good intentions. Not all the psychics have that. Not all the psychics are really nice or good people. And, you know, and there's like a competition and the spiritual ego. I feel like sometimes I kind of get off track with the message I'm trying to deliver, but I guess I'm channeling my wisdom that I've gained the past 4 years. I really put a pivotal point of, I've been going through an awakening the past 4 years, but the truth is I've always had these gifts that not all of them were activated. But like in high school, I started activating clairvoyance and started seeing energy. But I've always been empathic. I've always been sensitive. I've always had a lot of high energy moving through me. Ever since I was a kid, I'd like run around the house all day. Like more than a normal kid, apparently, according to my mom. Which I see that as me coming to earth with my wheels spinning, my chakras rolling. And that's a good thing. And I feel like one of my biggest roles here is to just be here with the energy. Or just be here and bring the energy, where you're just in the back of the room. You don't always get credit. It's like, you're like a lighthouse. Like I'm a lighthouse. And I'm making sure people don't bump into the shore and bump into each other in the dark. It's a very humbling position, because people don't really know the lighthouse keeper. People don't really sit down and have dinner with them. So I'm just kind of the person in the back of the room with the twinkle in my eye. And I feel like I'm about to step out of that and be in my power. But for the longest time, my role, and it still is to just bring the energy to people. Give them the energy. Flow it through. Be an overflowing fountain of youth. And that's what Jesus did. That's why people flock to him in the streets. It's like a light bulb, and like all these moths flock around you. But then I'm learning to realize, like, not all these moths really care about themselves and really want to heal themselves. They may want to create this spiritual healer image, or this image of themselves and this ego of, oh, I know all this intellectual stuff, but are you actually driving the car? Are you actually heart-centered, living in your heart, or are you just up here creating all this intellectual stuff? When there's people like me that are sensitive, and other people, so many other people, and I'm saying this for those people as well, that are going through the tough stuff, dealing with the sensitivity, and then just get shunned and like, oh, you're not spiritual because you don't know stuff. Like, you don't even have to understand these spiritual things to embody and live it. And that's what I realized. I've had like Buddhist teachings embodied in me, living them since I was a child. So there's this huge separation that's been here on the planet, but it's going to get a lot more obvious, where there's these people that they may say they're spiritual and live it out intellectually, but they aren't actually embodying it. And some of them may, some of them might not. But this is going to get a lot more obvious, seeing who's really in the energy, going through the shifts and the activations, who's really erupting and experiencing lava, whereas other people are just dormant volcanoes talking about it. So, and that quote comes from one of my spiritual teachers that I love dearly, that's helped me out a lot. We all need support. We all need, Cal Forever here. Thank you.